Chancellor Bishop, and to Dr. Milliken and the rest of the committee, as well as to the faculty members who nominated me for this award. It's just an unbelievable honor to be mentored and to be nominated by my mentors who I've always admired in terms of how they've advanced the status of women. So I truly thank them for receiving this award. I believe that it is a fundamental right for all people on this earth to live in a home in which they feel safe. And I believe that in order for women to have healthy lives and to thrive in this country, we need to address family violence. Therefore, as healthcare providers, I believe that the presence or absence of family violence is an integral part of any patient's clinical history. I just want to share with you all a few stories from my experience working on improving the healthcare system's response to family and interpersonal violence. When I first arrived at UCSF, I gravitated towards faculty who worked on family violence research and advocacy. And I quickly realized that many of these people, violence-related work was the kind of work that they added on to their 100% workload. It was the kind of work that may be at the center of their life, but was unfortunately not at the center of their funding structure. It was truly remarkable then to me to see the incredible amount of productivity of these providers despite all of these barriers. I think that this is because people who are devoted to this issue are truly driven not only by a desire to improve the lives of women, but to improve the lives of families and of communities. I have memories of meeting with Lee Kinberg at her home, brainstorming for hours on how to make the Violence Prevention Conference the best that it could be. She has generously given me advice on how to accomplish things in systems that have so many people with different agendas but not enough resources. She has always been selfless with the advice that she has painstakingly learned over many years, and I thank her for that. I also remember meeting Barbara Gerber for the first time and discussing her long-term work working with dental professionals on this issue. Her ability to make people care, and really importantly, to make grant committees care about an issue that is often left out of research funding priorities, has enabled her to truly improve the healthcare response to violence against women, and I thank her so much for being just an incredible role model for me. It is these people, their work, and the stories of patients and patients' families that I have worked with that drives me to improve the healthcare system's response to interpersonal violence. So what are the key points that I've learned from this work? I can divide my thoughts into the practical and the philosophical. So on a practical note, first, family violence affects all communities and is multifactorial in nature. So it's critical that we target this problem from all angles. This means working with academicians and policymakers and advocates. It means working with people at different points in their lifetime, meaning students through experts, national experts, and catching providers early on in their training, but not leaving out those practitioners who may be the most influential and experienced in their community. It means networking people and networking ideas across disciplines. At the Family Violence Prevention Fund, we put together a national listserv that links health professional students and faculty and the campus organizing folios that shared successful student-led initiatives. And this enabled greater change to happen with the same amount of resources. Second, to improve the healthcare system's response to family violence, we need to focus on skills and on behavior change. We focus on stages of change when it comes to our patients, so why not for changing the behavior of healthcare providers? For example, historically, the UCSF Violence Prevention Conference has attracted a large number of pharmacy students, but no pharmacist had ever served as a presenter at this conference. So in 2006, we included role-play sessions that were led by providers from each health discipline at UCSF, including a dentist, a physical therapist, a pharmacist, as well as a doctor and a nurse. Students left this conference a little bit more confident in their ability to address violence because they practiced concrete skills and they were also taught by a role model in their very own profession. On a more physical note, on a more philosophical note, first, I believe that academic institutions need to not only support faculty who are doing cross-disciplinary work, but they need to really applaud this work. I think that the core mission of academic institutions such as this one, in addition to caring for patients and promoting scientific research and education, is to disseminate answers to their research questions so that we can implement societal level change. The way in which UCSF highlights cross-disciplinary work through awards such as this one is exactly the kind of support that is needed. I hope that the continuation of these steps will enable faculty to further improve our response to interpersonal violence. Second, we need to help make academic positions in cross-disciplinary work sustainable, positions that are valued by research funders and institutions just as much as by community and by our students. This is a very exciting time for interpersonal violence advocacy here at UCSF. Very recently, a group of students and faculty received a large School of Medicine grant to strategically target gaps in the interpersonal violence curriculum so that medical graduates have the skills that they need to address violence in a healthcare setting. Along similar lines, I'm developing with Beth Kaplan a sexual assault clinical elective for medical students and ED residents. Through this course, trainees will build the skills needed to aid sexual assault victims. It's an integrated effort on behalf of healthcare providers as well as law enforcement and community groups. In addition, I would like to thank a few people. First of all, I'm just one of many students who pour their heart and soul into this work, and I'd like to point out specifically Sunita Puri, Neepa Chaplani, Jackie Morrowen, Anita Nageswaran, and Carrie Cunningham for their incredible work. In addition to Lee Kimberg and Barbara Gerber, I would also like to thank Beth Kaplan, Norma Jo Axman, Merritt Gross, and Dixie Horning, as well as the amazing people at the Family Violence Prevention Fund, including Esther Soler, Debbie Lee, and Anna Mariabi, and also to Dan Lowenstein, who has always supported research at the School of Medicine, especially research on women's health. I'd like to thank the dynamic faculty and students of my Pastor Research Fellowship, including Joel Selesky and Peter Chinhan. And I'd also like to deeply thank my research mentor, Rebecca Smith-Feynman, as well as her supportive colleagues, Ed Nichols, Carla Kurlikowski, and Bill Chu, who have really shown me by example how conducting well-designed research and disseminating your results in light of policy implications is an incredibly powerful form of activism towards advancing women's health. And finally, I would like to thank my parents, my partner Sanjit Singh, and my sister for their constant support. For my mom, who I think stepped out for coffee. Not quite as physical, I got a little discombobulated. Mom, words just can't describe the strength and the kindness and the selflessness that I've seen from you throughout my life, and you've just been such an incredible role model to me. I'm just depressed, both professionally and also while just continuing to be an incredible mother. Dad, you've always been with me. For some of you here who've come to some of the conferences I've been at, he's always with me. He came to the UCSF conference, he came to the trafficking conference, and it just shows that you support me and you support work for advancing women. I just think that's incredible. And finally, to Sanjit, you're my best friend and my life partner. You've always been my #1 advocate, and I don't know anyone who has a more giving heart than you. So I thank you for teaching me so much, and especially my dad and Sanjit. They're just two men who fundamentally value and respect women and their work, and I appreciate that more and more every day. Thank you.